Hello again and welcome to ManchTalk. I'm Tammy Simmons. I'm your host and I'm glad you're tuning in today. I do have a guest with me today, but before I start, I want to make sure I get two things out just in case we talk more than I expected and run out of time. First, I wanted to thank everybody who contributed to the Manchester Republican walk team for the New Horizons Walk Against Hunger this past weekend. We had over 30 people walking with the Manchester Republican team. We raised over $1,300 just to us for New Horizons, and if you don't know much about New Horizons, they have a food pantry, they have a soup kitchen, they're affiliated now with Families in Transition, so they do a lot of good for our community. And the Manchester Republican Committee was glad to participate in the walk Sunday, and help raise money for a good cause. So I wanted to thank everybody who walked with us or donated to our team, and kudos to New Horizons for doing so many good things for our community. The second thing I wanted to make sure I mention is today is Tuesday the 22nd, because I tape on Tuesdays. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 23rd, is on Dunkin' Donuts Iced Coffee Day for CHAD. That's the Children's Hospital at Dartmouth. It's a great way to help raise money for a hospital that does a lot of great things for kids with special health needs. Our good friends BJ and Carrie Perry and their son Elliot participate in this and other CHAD fundraisers throughout the year. So if you go to Dunkin' Donuts tomorrow, Wednesday the 23rd, you can buy an iced coffee and a portion of the proceeds will go to CHAD. And Elliot Perry has his own challenge. If you take a selfie of you and your coffee and you tweet it or Facebook it with the following hashtags. We're going to put these up. So these are the hashtags. You're going to do hashtag iced coffee day. You're going to do hashtag Chad kids. And you're going to do, most importantly, hashtag Team Elliot, ELLIOT. And Elliot will pick the best picture and give away a gift card to the person he selects to be the winner. So get out there tomorrow on the 23rd and help support the Children's Hospital at Dartmouth. So back to my real plan for being here. I'm joined today by Daniel Perrinez. I'm going to get this wrong. Perrinez, see? I thought I would had it right, and then I stopped it. Daniel Perrinez, he's from Manchester MakerSpace, which is I don't want to call it a business. It's an entity located over there on Old Granite Street. Correct? Old Granite Street, which is where Manch Vegas and the Bank of America is in the middle of the island, and it's that little street that nobody really knows what the heck it is. That's Old Granite Street. Yep. So thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No problem.
So yeah, 36 Old Granite Street. That's our location. And,
very nicely painted, by the way. I appreciated that when you guys did the outside.
Yeah, well, we're trying to beautify the downtown. Yeah. We're trying to create an asset for the greater Manchester area. Yep. And yes, so we are not really a business. Right. We're actually a nonprofit. Yep. We're a 501c3 nonprofit charity. We have been for about a year and a half, officially with the federal and state government. We are 100% volunteer operated. Okay. And we're really defined by our members.
And tell me, what does I know what MakerSpace is, but for anybody who's watching who's like, well, what the heck is MakerSpace? What is the purpose of MakerSpace?
Well, I think the purpose of the MakerSpace is first and foremost to celebrate making for the sake of making. Yep. Right? We're a community of lifelong learners. Yep. That's the culture that we really revolve around. And then we really function as a place to offer mentorship, shared space, and tools. Okay. Mentorship comes first because you can have a shared space and tools there, but if you don't have people that kind of show you the ropes, right, it's not valuable to you. If I know how to,
chances are, if I know exactly how to do, how to build something, I probably have the tools of my own. It's the things that maybe I don't know so much about. So, so you have this space, and you have a team of mentors, and you have open houses.
Yep, we have open houses every Sunday, 1 to 3, and every Monday, 6 to 8. And actually, this Sunday that we saw you guys walking down Granite Street, yeah, it was quite a crowd of people. So it was definitely a successful event that you had.
So I could come down and check it out. Sundays, 1 to 3. Did you say 6 to 8 on Mondays? 6 to 8 on a Monday night. See what's there. See if it's something that I'd be interested. So what kind? I know you have it like broken down by theme or by project type. What are the different types of projects, building, learning, that you have currently?
All right. So we have broken up the MakerSpace into several different workshops. So we have an electronics shop.
Okay.
We have a rapid prototyping shop, which is, 3D printers, but it also incorporates our laser cutter and our vinyl cutter.
Nice.
So that's sort of, computer controlled type of stuff that's quick and on the go. The other shops that we have is we have an automotive shop. So we have the brightly colored garage door.
Yeah.
And that garage door is not just used for auto projects. I mean, that's an essential tool in and of itself, just to get out of the snow and rain and the hot sun.
Yeah.
If you're not doing, you don't have to, the auto bay can be used for stuff that's not necessarily a car. But so we have the auto shop, we have the metal shop, and we have the woodworking shop, and we also have a new budding shop. We're kind of calling it visual arts right now.
Okay.
It's split up into 2 different areas. We have a paint booth, which has been used.
Really?
It's been used an incredible amount since we built it.
Like spray?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
So we have plumbing for air that goes right into the paint booth so that you can hook up your paint gun and you don't have to buy spray paint cans. You can thin your own paint and do that. But I mean the most important thing is that anybody who's tried to spray paint outside, you're like, oh yeah, this is fine because all the fumes are gonna it's open air, well ventilated. Well, I mean that's good. But then you also get the dirt and the leaves,
and the spray paint all over your grass, and
yeah. So we've had a lot of artists use that paint booth, and cosplayers, right? So people who want to spray paint their costumes, I mean, they're very keen to having a nice, perfect, crisp finish. So the paint booth has been essential for that. And so the other part of this sort of visual arts room is we're trying to make it a sewing room. We have this beautiful, I guess it's an antique now, industrial sewing machine that has a built-in table for it. And we want to start churning out as many projects on that as possible.
It's interesting. You may not you probably don't know this. So I work for a place that does custom window treatments.
Oh, really?
That's interesting. So that'd be interesting because this could be a better thing. One, we're always looking for help, looking for people who know how to sew, and we're always looking for ways to get rid of excess fabric. Just a small. I don't even. That's a whole other conversation, but it's just small world. You're saying this, and I'm like, oh, look at that. So that's interesting. So I could. You mentioned woodworking. So if I wanted to, if I wanted to build a shelf, I buy my wood and. We'll get to how you use the facility, but I bring my supplies and then the machinery is there. And then if I need a mentor, I assume you have to do you have to prearrange that?
So we do have so stepping back a little bit, right? So people sign up as members, just like they would at a gym, right? And we kind of operate just like a gym. You buy a membership at a gym because you don't want to buy the elliptical. You don't want to put the elliptical in your living room.
That's right.
And also you go there because there's other people that sort of inspire you to keep doing it,
That's right.
So we also have a membership fee, right? So it's $65 a month, which is actually 24/7 access. So we have RFID cards that let you in. And you can bring as many guests as you want.
Really? Yes. That was one thing when I was reading it. And I'm like, well, I'm guessing that Dan and I would both have to have a membership if we wanted to go and do something. But obviously that's...
Until
it becomes overwhelmed. Right?
Yeah, until the first person brings in 100 people.
Right.
And, we are
don't abuse
proud
the
of it.
system.
Yeah, we're proud of that, though, because we want... we really want people to bring their kids, bring their spouses, and bring their friends.
I was going to say, bring a friend who now says, this is cool, I want to do this.
Yeah. The only thing we ask, though, is that, hey, families don't exchange the cards between them.
Right, don't take advantage of the price. Otherwise, the price ends up going up for everybody because somebody's got to pay for it.
And there's also a liability thing.
Right.
Right, so we have equipment there, which is dangerous if mistreated, or those who are not aware of the safety around it, use it irresponsibly. So members, when they sign up, they sign a membership contract, right? They have a membership agreement that not only says, hey, these are, I'm going to abide by all the rules, but it also says that you are responsible for your guests.
Right.
Please bring them in.
But be aware that if your dingy friend cuts his finger off because he's stupid, you're not liable. I'm liable.
So you've come in, we've shown you how to weld.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that your friend knows how to weld.
Right. That's right.
Right. But so getting to safety checkouts, right? So that's sort of our process. We have a resource manager for each shop, so wood shop, metal shop, auto shop, and those resource managers, they're responsible for maintaining the equipment and also maintaining some sort of checkout system. So so a member comes in, says, hey, I don't know anything about the wood shop, but I want to start wood turning, or it comes in the metal shop, I want to learn how to weld, right?
That's me.
Yeah, so you come in, and we'll get you safety checked out on that, which is safety checkout goes by 3 points. How not to hurt yourself, how not to hurt other people, and how not to hurt the tool.
Yep, makes sense.
So yeah, so we get people safety checked out on that, and we keep a record about it, so that if we see somebody brand new using something,
you can see that they didn't go through the process properly.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yep.
So that's interesting. That is the one thing I keep saying to Dan. Dan's my other half. I keep saying, I want to learn how to do simple welding. I want to do like welding to make things for my garden. Like, I don't want to build a metal chair. I want to be able to make these 2 pieces of metal stick together. So it's funny. I'm gonna have to do it. So now I know you said it's $65 a month. That's if you do sign up for a period of time, correct?
No, that's just the recurring monthly fee. Yep.
So do you have to sign up for a full year at $65 or?
No, I mean you can cancel at any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's it literally is $65.
Yeah.
Like for me in the summer, I might not have time to do this, but I might want to spend 6 months in the winter involved. So that's really interesting. So so we know where it is, we know what it is, we know what it costs. What would you say is what's some really exciting, unique things that you've seen people use the space to make? Like, do you have is there anything memorable? Like you mentioned, costumes and stuff, but I'm sure some people have made things that you're like, wow, that's amazing.
So the one other time that I was videotaped and put on the internet was for one of our projects. So we had an artist member who their background was in making visual art on canvas, and came into the Makerspace and said, I want to make a boat. I've been reading books about boats. I want to make a boat. Okay. And he was definitely doing his research, and he was coming at it from an artistic perspective, which made everybody kind of think, hey, we're kind of coming from an engineer background.
I was going to say, you can make a boat that's pretty, but I can make a boat that floats.
well, so I think that the big thing that we learned out of it was that, hey, he had a different angle coming to making the boat, but come November, right? Even though people were skeptical and like, hey, this artist says he's going to make a boat that floats and, it comes apart in 2 pieces and he's going to put it together, go up on YouTube. You can see I'm in that boat. I will admit, I kind of looked like a scared cat, but
it floated.
The boat floated. And when he said, yeah, I'm going to put a sail on it and bring it out to the ocean, we were like, dude, bring life vests. But he did it.
Yeah,
he did it. And the other part of that I actually find that I keep coming back to remembering is that we had another project going on. Somebody was fixing up an old truck, and so they were taking the rusty pieces and soaking it in vinegar.
Yeah.
Right. And so he got the rust off after he was done. He had gallons of this
rusty vinegary.
Yeah. I forget exactly what it's called. Iron acetate. Right. And so what was a waste product to one person, right? Another member, Ken. He does some research on it, and he goes, actually, this makes a really good wood stain.
I was going to say.
So the guy that was making that boat, he actually, got these stencils, and he made these beautiful, like, star sun patterns on it. And I was really inspired by that. I was like, that is upcycling. And that actually speaks to me because, people kind of get into the making thing from different angles, right? Some people are artists, some people are engineers. And for me, maybe I'm just cheap. Like
I know. Keep going.
I love upcycling.
I do too.
I love making use of the materials I have around me, and a lot of that comes from my dad, who grew up in Chile without much, and so he and I don't know, he always taught me how to do that from a young age.
I have the same thing. Anybody can go to, like, I'm not an avid gardener. I shouldn't really call myself that. I'm a very passionate, small gardener. Not vegetables and stuff. I just love to plant flowers in my yard because I really like I enjoy summer. And I'm always looking for things for my yard. And, you know, anybody can go out to Bedford Fields in Bedford or wherever and drop, you know, $1,000 on a patio set, you know, or $2,000 or whatever it is. That's easy. Writing a check is easy. It's not easy necessarily to make the money, but to purchase a finished good is easy. I, on the other hand, take much more pleasure in finding the deal on something and fixing it or improving it and ending up with just as nice, if not nicer, than that $1,000 piece. But I put a little bit of my own uniqueness into it, and it's just nice. I made that. You know, we renovated our house not because, I mean, partially because we weren't about to spend, you know, tens of thousands of dollars to pay somebody else. We did have a carpenter we paid, but we, you know, we had a plan and we renovated things, and it does give you a little pride and a little joy because it's your own. It's not, yours is different than everybody else. Everybody can go to Walmart and buy the same thing. Mine's different. You're not going to find mine at Walmart.
And I think that you hit the nail on the head for two essential points for the makerspace community. Is that number one? I mentioned that we're lifelong learners. There's a long-term enjoyment that comes from doing it yourself. You can't buy that experience. That is your own, and nobody can take it away from you. The other thing is, better, just as good, if not better, and it's your own, it's customized. So the company that I work for, Autodesk, we're all about the future of making things, okay? And in this sort of vision of the future of making things, we kind of, are looking at the state of the world and that we are in a new industrial revolution. The past 100 years were about mass production.
Yes. Hey, somebody else can make it for you.
Henry Ford said you could have a car in any color as long as it's black. But that's not the 21st century. The 21st century is, I want it my own.
Yes.
And everybody wants it their own. Well, so we are in the era of mass customization.
And it is interesting because, I mean, this goes across all different things. If you think about the food systems that people buy now, I can't think what they're called. They come in the box and you have them shipped to your house and you make your own fancy little meal or whatever. That's because people want to make their own food.
Yes.
But they don't want to necessarily have to go out and find all those little ingredients, which isn't really that much different than what you're doing. You're saying, we have the tools. I want to make my own thing, but I don't want to have to build a wood shop in my basement, and I don't want to have to buy a welder, and I don't want to have to do all these things, but I still want to make the product. It seems to be more and more prevalent. People learning how to cook again, people learning how to, raise their own vegetables again. I think it has come full circle. We've gone through the age of, wow, it's amazing. I can go to the store and buy that now, to, wow, I can build that without having to go to the store and buy it.
Right, and so, the science kits that you can buy or the cooking kits, those are lowering the barriers of entry to getting into something like that. Because there's a lot of, to make a fancy meal, there's a lot of research that goes into, this is a special kale, these are the blue potatoes.
Well, and who wants to go buy, just think of seasonings. If you've got to go to the store and buy a bottle of the 6 different seasonings you need for a meal,
right.
You're like, no, that's like $30.
Right.
Except for they send you a little packet of it.
Yeah, so there's a financial barrier to entry for a lot of those things too. And at the Makerspace, that's exactly what we do. We have $40,000 of CNC equipment that we acquired through a collaborative deal I'm very proud of with a local FIRST Robotics team.
Yeah.
So, they had the equipment, but they didn't necessarily have the space to use it in.
And this is recent.
Yes, this is recent.
I know about this transaction.
So we're very happy that, it's in the Makerspace. They have access to it, and other people have access to it.
And then they'll, over time, I would imagine, I would assume this is kind of how it helps work, is, okay, so you've got that robotics team that has that CNC equipment, and other people might use it, but other people might bring other things that actually help that robotics team in the long run so that they don't have to raise money to go out and get this one thing because it's already there. Yeah,
we're all about collaboration over silos, right? Something that is essential, again, to our identity and our culture is that we don't want, the wood shop just doing wood shop stuff. We don't want the robotics teams just doing the robotics team stuff. We want the, I get in trouble because sometimes I call it cross-contamination is good, and people say, hey, there's a better term than that.
It explains
cross-pollination, right?
But it is. That's really neat because you know, like I did glance at your website quickly to look at like what types of workshops you had, and the robotics thing intrigued me because I was not for me personally. I just thought it was intriguing. The 3D printing, or even the laser printing, you know, the laser cutting or whatever you have. I'm like, oh yes, you know, that would be good because there's things, you know, I've got lots of projects built up in my head that I think I would have to outsource parts of because I can't make that piece. Or I could probably just spend $65 a month and do it myself.
Bingo.
That's awesome. Okay, so you are located at 36 Old Granite Street. Open houses Sundays 1 to 3 and Monday nights 6 to 8, and that's every week.
Yep.
So you can come on down, check it out. If you decide you want to join, it's $65 a month. Your website is Manchester Makers with an S. No, MakerSpace. ManchesterMakerSpace.org.
Correct.
I really appreciate you coming on today. Dan and I have been procrastinating about getting over there to check it out. Maybe, well, probably not this Sunday because it's a holiday. Maybe next week. Next week we'll make it a point. I will make it a point. You will see me and Dan there in June, and then maybe I'll have you back, or maybe we'll do some live video there one day and do a little piece so that people can get a little preview.
All right.
I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem. So coming up, obviously Memorial Day weekend this weekend. I did want to talk about a few things coming up this weekend. First, on Saturday and Sunday, the Bedford Village Inn over in Bedford, obviously, has an annual barn sale. I've never heard about this before, but apparently it's an annual event. It runs from 9 to 2 on the 26th and the 27th. It's located right on the grounds of the Bedford Village Inn. And they say they have an assortment of furniture, including couches, chairs, coffee tables, dining tables, outdoor furnishings, demo mattresses, and a very extensive assortment of sconces and chandeliers. They also have glassware, silverware, hurricane shades, all sorts of stuff. So that might be an interesting thing to check out. That is this coming Saturday and Sunday at the Bedford Village Inn. Also, this Saturday at Amoskeag Fishways, which is one of my favorite places to promote, they have Sea Lamprey Appreciation Day. I bet you didn't know that existed. That is this Saturday, the 26th at 11 a.m. It is, the price is anywhere from $3 an individual. I think it's $6 per family. Again, please don't take advantage of that and bring 20 people and call them your family. You can hold a live 3-foot-long fish and learn much about this underappreciated animal, the sea lamprey. So that's interesting. You can get more information on that at AmoskeagFishways.org. This Monday, the 28th at 2 p.m. is the Manchester Memorial Day Parade. That it runs from Webster Street down Elm Street to Veterans Park. So if you love a parade, come on down to Elm Street. You could also stop into some of the places I've been featuring recently. Boards and Brews is always a great place to stop, have a beer, play a game. Again, that's Monday, May 28th at 2 p.m. Come on out and honor those who have fallen in the Manchester Memorial Day Parade. Now, next weekend, not this weekend, the first weekend in June, is the Dartmouth Hitchcock Annual Yard Sale. That takes place at 100 Hitchcock Way over there in Ward 6. It runs from 8 in the morning, I think, until 1. People rent spaces. So you rent like a parking space or 2 parking spaces, and they have their yard sale and the next person's yard sale. So it's one big giant yard sale. That's Saturday, June 2nd. So you might want to check that out. Also on that Saturday, there is a pottery show and sale at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, which is located over on North Main Street on West Manchester. That will run from 12 to 5. It is free to come in, and you can purchase pottery there, and the proceeds will go to some of St. Andrew's Outreach Ministries. Also at St. Andrew's, in case you don't know, every Saturday, although I won't say necessarily this weekend because it is a holiday weekend, every Saturday morning, St. Andrew's has a great thrift shop if you're looking to find a deal on clothing, household goods, things like that. Again, they're located at 102 North Main Street in West Manchester. Also next weekend is the Food Trucks for Casa. That's, I'm not even going to try to explain what Casa is. But Food Trucks for Casa, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The 1st, which is Friday, I believe, runs 4 to 8 at night. And then Saturday and Sunday, it'll be from 11 till 8 on Saturday and 11 to 4 on Sunday. That's at McIntyre Ski Area, which is over on Chalet Court. also, I think maybe in Ward 2, they have all sorts of food trucks over there of different cuisines and craft beers and cupcakes and things like that. And it's a whole little festival atmosphere. The price to get in there is $5 for adults, and then obviously you pay for whatever you want to eat or drink. You can get more information about that at foodtrucksforcasa.com. Because it is Memorial Day weekend, and because June is approaching, and because we can't let any summer sneak by, I'm going to remind people that if you go out to cooptopia.com, for $18 a day, you can get a certificate to do kayaking on the Merrimack River at Edgewater Kayak. They're located in Hooksett, right off of, I guess that's off of 3A. I don't know. They're in Hooksett on my side of the river, over on the west side. $18 gets you a full day rental of a kayak and a life jacket and everything, and you can spend the day out on the beautiful Merrimack River. It's a great way to try the sport, see if it's something you're interested in. Maybe you'll be buying a kayak later. You can get that at cooptopia.com. They always have great deals. Exo on Elm and Pecola often have 15 for 30 deals and things like that. So you can check that out, get out there, enjoy the river. Also wanted to remind folks that starting this week, yard waste pickup by the city switches from every week to every other week. So there is a schedule on the website. You can probably figure it out, because if you put your stuff out this week and they don't pick it up, then next week is your week. But you won't be able to put your yard waste out and have it picked up for free every week. You have to do it every other week. And the last thing I want to remind people is that on June 14th, the Manchester Republican Committee, in conjunction with Concerned Taxpayers of Manchester and a group called For a Better Manchester, will be hosting a gala celebrating the 90th birthday of former mayor and former executive councilor Ray Wazorek. If you'd like information about how to buy tickets for that, you can go to manchestergop.com/wiz, W-I-Z. It's going to be a great event and a great opportunity to honor a great man from Manchester. That's really all I have for this week. Thank you again to those who donated to the Walk Against Hunger, and make sure that if you are seeing this on Tuesday live tonight, go out tomorrow and buy a nice coffee, hashtag Team Elliott, and maybe you'll win a free gift card. I'll see you again next week. Have a great weekend, enjoy the weather, and we'll touch base again. Thanks, bye.